Hey, Kodiak here, and today I'm kind of doing a little bit of a Yapp video where I went ahead and did say I'd possibly talk about this topic in terms of Sabretooth and why I consider him super easy and things of that nature. And I wanted to kind of talk about why I play, why I don't use companions. You'll see me a lot of content, even though I'm playing in tribe mode. Where is your tribe? I'm constantly solo. So the first part of that is I abuse the absolute ever living hell out of invisibility. I go invisible all the time. I bypass content all the time. If I'm raiding a barracks, I will go invisible and destroy the watchtowers. If I am doing a dungeon, I will go invisible and just loot all the chests and bypass the crappy little robots that nobody really wants to fight. I will go invisible just about any reason. If I'm just traveling the world to unlock a new waypoint, I will be invisible so I can ignore the wildlife until I get king of the hunt. So that's really kind of like one of the primary reasons. But the second reason is the combat system. And when I started this game, I had a wonderful group of guild members who kind of like walked me through. They were very respectful. They were like, okay, we don't want to spoil things, so they didn't want to just tell you how to beat everything, which is great. But like we came and did the Sabretooth, and it was a total fiesta. Like, I had companions, they had companions, we're trying to fight it, I'm trying to fight it. The saber is jumping around and leaping and wild slashing, and you get bled, and then you're going down, and then I would die over and over again. I got super mad, like, oh my god, mad. So I decided, you know what, I'm gonna figure this out. I'm coming here solo, and I'm not walking away until I figure this bad boy out. And it was a completely different experience. No crazy, no leaping around, no, wild swings randomly. And it's because the AI has triggers based on things like distance. So if they are super far away, they will do like moves 1 and 2. And if you're in mid range, they will do moves like say 2, 3, 4. And if you're at super close range, they'll do moves like 5, 6, 7. And that's a lot. It's not that many, but you get the idea. Is that depending on where you are, depends on how they react and what they do. And that's really apparent here, for example, on Sabretooth, which we can go ahead and we will show. So we will summon our guy here. Just pop him up a little aggro. Yeah, come attack. So Saber will stalk you in a circle, so you can see like he wants to stalk you. And if I stay at mid range like this, it will eventually trigger off an attack, but you don't know when. But if I get too far, so you see me backing up, see he leaped in and then hit, and then now I can counter attack. And we can basically trigger that over and over and over again infinitely like this. Now, if I push to the middle here, or try to get too close to him, which of course he's doing the speed. Okay, we'll come back to that. So what he's trying to do is trying to get behind you, because if he gets behind you, he will leap you. So if you give him the back, see how he leapt in on my back when I gave him back to him? And again, now he leaps in. So that's what he's trying to do. He's trying to get behind you so he will trigger his leap. So that's why he's walking slowly around you. And he will eventually get behind and then do that little leap attack. Now, if you try to press the offense, you'll see like he leaps back and then he counters attack in. He leaps out, counter attacks in, tries to get thing, comes at you. So you can predictably see what the AI is going to do by triggering it back. Okay, I know I need to leap, because then that way I avoid that. So, and that's really how this works. Is that if you trigger what they're going to do, now you can punish them. And that's basically the whole system and the whole game out there in the whole game. Fog Frog is very similar. If you stay at range and you try to shoot him, he's going to cover half the arena in poison. Now you get some safety because you're at range, but now you have to be able to navigate and dodge the poison that's all over the ground as well. But now you're not having to dodge any of his hits or deal with, like him licking or kicking or doing everything out with you. And you can see here again, like, I'm at the mid range. I've been trying to get him to trigger like a shout, But if you kind of stay here at some of the like the mid range, he will go ahead and yeah, see leap attack, little wild attack. So it's like again he tries to leap back out and does that. So that's really what almost all the combat and all the game really comes down to, is depending on where you're at, what you're doing otherwise. Even Ape, if Ape backs off, he's either going to there's like a number of moves that he's doing to get distance on you, so then he'll like throw rocks or otherwise. So if you chase him, you eat a shotgun full of face of rocks like I did the other day when I was fighting him on Doom. And that's really what it comes down to for most of this combat. Well, if you add companions into this, it is total chaos. They don't know any of this. They don't respect any of that. They just, oh, there's a target, I'm going to attack. So now if you go attack Saber, we get what we saw when I had my guildmates kind of showing me the game. Total chaos. Companions are in there at melee range. Other people are in there at melee range. I'm in there trying to be at melee range. So, Saber is doing all sorts of leaps and pounces and flip around, dual attacks. It seems like total chaos, but it's not chaos. It's just we're constantly triggering those scenarios where if he was stalking us, the person he's stalking has to do is back up, get the leap, do the counter, and you're good. So that's really why I avoid companions overall, is they will trigger moves that are very dangerous to everyone because they're dumb. And it happens even at range where if let's say all the guys are at range, then they will go ahead and they will trigger attacks that are long distance as well. So there's really no good way to do it. And I find the boss encounters are a lot more predictable and a lot more almost easier to do solo than with companions, even if your companions are immortal. There are exceptions where it can be nice to have one. Ape is actually a really good example. If you bring companions on Ape, they actually do pretty well. Because Ape really doesn't really have that preset pattern. Thunderbird is another great example. If you bring companions on that, another pretty good boss. Put them a bunch of arrows and bows and whatnot, and they will just go crazy. But like Mammoth, complete chaos. Saber, complete chaos. Fogfrog, you're going to have half the arena covered in poison, and you're going to be in melee on it. So that's really why I avoid that type of stuff. I will say, though, for human opponents, they are fantastic. Love the companions against humans, and you see me use them all the time, such as like when we went after the Shadow Mask. Great. Perfect use case for them. When I do the Alpine Plunderer, same scenario is going to happen. For human opponents, they are wonderful. Against robots, they're okay. Against bosses, they're hit or miss based on the boss. But I just want to explain that. I know like all my videos are literally called tribe mode, and it's like I'm sure somebody somewhere is like, where's the tribe? What even is this? Like I run around with companions. I don't, and that's why I don't. So thanks.